A few days ago, we published a video from the Icon shipyard of an incredible project called Project Master. It was the first original video that we've published on the Yacht Builders channel, and the response was incredible. As of this morning, 125,000 views, and more exciting than that, so many questions. So I took advantage of the fact that there's the Monaco Yacht Show at the moment to meet up with Marek from the Icon shipyard. Now, Marek is the guy who helped us to put the video together. He showed us around. His knowledge of the project is absolutely extraordinary. In fact, I noticed you've already put some comments on the video yourself.
Yes, I went a bit undercover.
You did. And we appreciated that, but I thought it'd be great for the viewers if you could actually answer some of their questions. So that's what this video is all about. And as they say in the world of YouTube, let's get right into it. RobDog1 says, those Voith propellers are very interesting. Many OSVs, which I guess is an offshore vessel,
Yes.
and tugs actually have what are known as tractor drives. They remove the need for a rudder and can do much the same in terms of rotation and pivoting. Queen Mary II, for example, has azipods for her rear set of props. They can turn fully 180 degrees and together with the bow thrusters can drive her pretty much sideways. I'm guessing this is essentially a modernized version of a tractor drive or azipod.
Well, actually, the Voith Schneider system has been around since 1926. So it's not a modernized azipod. It has been out there for many years, proven and tested system on many offshore vessels in the commercial world. So very sturdy, reliable and proven system.
Danny Donahue. Actually, this is a two-part question because somebody made an observation about his remark. Danny said, yes, I also agree. If I could have a yacht, it would be to go anywhere. These conversions are so interesting, and the hybrid electric diesel system is very interesting for fuel and maintenance issues. Those propellers are insane. Also, I love the new effects you put into the video to show how the amazing remolding is being done. Cheers. That's one for you guys, Jarek and Slava. Big compliment on the video there. But then Lazy Now 1 says the propellers are fine until they hit a rock. The more robust azipod would be better.
Well, first of all, a professional yachting crew would never circumnavigate in waters where hitting a rock is possible. That's first part of the question. And second, those Voith Schneider propellers are actually available with an ice class rating, so you can imagine they're as sturdy as they can be, so no need to worry about anything there.
You could just as easily say, what if your propeller hits a rock?
Exactly.
Like a normal propeller, it's exactly the same thing, isn't it? You shouldn't be in that shallow water in the first place, especially not with a vessel the size of, of what we're talking about. WSL says, oh, this was an interesting one. He says there has to be more to stretching it 4 meters than just having an extra 4 meters. He says, I'm not a naval engineer, but maybe it's something to do with the new propulsion system.
Well, you might think, but no. So the client asked for superb access to the water. So by lengthening by 4 meters, we're creating a fantastic beach club for accessing the water, sunbathing and playing with your toys.
And actually, we didn't go too much into that in this video. Hopefully in a future video we will, but that beach club area looks absolutely astonishing.
It's big.
Yeah, and I think then when people see that, it'll make sense. The 4 meters will make a lot more sense. Hamish Campbell, I'd be interested in knowing if they will be fitting any stabilization system or sticking with GT as the chosen method. I'm not sure what he means by GT.
Well, me neither, but
he says it's a very interesting and cool project. So can you tell us about the stabilization system?
Yes, so that's one of the cool things about the Voith Schneider propellers, since stabilization is integrated in the system. So having those propellers completely eliminates the need for any additional fin stabilizers.
Yeah, that's amazing actually, because I
really
thought
is.
you would have big fins, but
no, all in one basically.
So that's a big advantage of that propulsion system. That and the dynamic positioning of it, that you don't have to drop the anchor, the whole system can just keep the yacht in position.
DP also included.
Roll Commodore says, adding 3 decks plus a helicopter on such a vessel will make it top heavy, unstable. You don't need to be a genius to see that.
Well, I can tell you that we put tons of naval architectural calculations, stability calculations in such a project to have no compromises when it comes to safety and stability. Actually, those vessels are made to carry insanely heavy loads on their aft deck. So they're meant to carry those weights we're adding, and we're not even touching close to the capacity of the original vessel. So no need to worry about anything in terms of stability. Yes, it changes the characteristics, but we're taking a lot of measures to mitigate any risk of potential compromises there.
I know that when you go to the Classification Society, stability is one of the key things, and they're really quite strict, and they want to see all of the calculations and all of the weights.
Correct. So it's not just Icon doing something, a freestyle
wacky.
basically. So there are institutes which control.
Brett Moore says, what sort of range, fuel capacity, cruise and top speed will it have?
So the fuel capacity will be extensive for an Explorer like that. We're going to have a range of way over 7,200 nautical miles. This is what our calculations are telling us at the moment. At a cruising speed of about 10 knots, the vessel will have a top speed of around 14 knots, but since cruising in comfort is the main goal, 10 knots is the way to go here.
Yeah, great. That's 7,000 nautical miles, that's trans-Pacific, isn't it?
It really is, yes.
Trey makes an interesting observation. He says battery size is measured in watt-hours. Watts measure instantaneous energy. So saying a battery bank can supply 1 megawatt doesn't really tell me how big it is. It's only the amount of power it can deliver in a moment.
Yeah, well observed, and easy answer to that. Small mistake on our side, 2 megawatt hours.
Well spotted, Trey. Jaffa Holland. I love this a lot. Thank you, Jaffa Holland. What will happen to the fuel tanks? Will they need to be expanded or not to power the 5 generators? And then he says, please get to go back and see this boat many times.
So since we're making the vessel so much more efficient in terms of its propulsion system, we can reduce the given fuel capacity of the vessel and still have those amazing ranges, which make it a fantastic exploration vessel. So,
I liked this next question. Felix Villalon. Where do they get those donor vessels? Is there any market for old commercial ships that can be bought and transformed?
So yes, there is definitely a market, and Icon has very knowledge and experience in locating those donor vessels, but that's as far as I'm going to go on that one.
Okay, well I will say that I'm very impressed when I visit Icon, that I get a sense that if a client is inspired by what you're doing and he comes to you with his vision, I think you guys, if it's out there, you'll find it. You'll find it and you'll be able to do the project.
Yes, we will.
Which I think is a really exciting thing, because it's such a niche market that you're really, really nailing and doing such a great job with. I mean, Ragnar is exciting, Project Master is exciting. You announced at the boat show about Project UFO.
Yes, really.
So I can now say that.
Yes, yes, you can.
It's announced. It's really exciting to see this kind of scale of conversion projects.
I mean, I can actually add to that. So it's not just us looking at a boat and saying, well, it looks cool, let's go for that. We're doing lots of in-depth studies to really find the best donor vessel possible for our client.
Excellent, thank you. Rude Voten, I love the way that Rude Voten starts his question, because it's something I often say. He says, maybe a stupid question, I'm no technician, but I wonder why the yachts don't have 1, 2, 3 or more small windmills on top to generate electricity. I mean, when cruising, there's always wind. Solar, you need the sun, and that's not always available.
Yeah, that's a very interesting question, and we at Icon, we always love to explore new ways how to make yachts more efficient and sustainable. On this one, we chose a very efficient propulsion system with batteries, with generators, so I think we've chosen the best propulsion method possible for this type of project.
And if there's any country in the world that knows something about windmill power, it has to be Holland. Although from a practical level, and Rude Voten, I'm no technician either, let me tell you, but when I see all the windmills in the Netherlands as we're driving through, they are huge.
They are huge,
they are
yes.
huge. So I wonder as well, from a practical point of view, apart from the aesthetics, which wouldn't be great, but I wonder what sort of size of windmill that you'd need on the yacht to be able to really provide a meaningful amount of power.
Never say never. Let's see.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. DeGritz1 says the dynamic positioning system comes hand in hand with high fuel costs and a much higher maintenance cost. I'm curious what, if any, are the trade-offs to initial costs and long-term maintenance schedule of this system as compared to a more traditional electric direct drive thruster nacelle configuration? I don't know what nacelle is. Do you know what nacelle?
Well, one of the beauties by installing a battery bank on a project like this is that we can stay on the virtual anchor, so DP, without emitting any sort of fuel and
Fuel costs.
exhaust. So yes, so we can stay at DP without any fuel.
Yeah, which is great. It just comes straight from the battery.
Exactly.
I mean, it's true that you're running the generators to power the battery, but on the other hand, once it's stored there, it's on tap effectively, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, I like this one. Steve Ingram. Awesome video. Thanks to the two magic makers on the other side of the camera. I was wondering how they repair all the dented hull planking on the outside.
Yeah, well, there are many ways to make a hull look more flat and faired. Means of heat fairing, applying filler, painting it a specific way. So if a client wants to go for a certain type of finish, we're definitely willing to go for that.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he means the planking as in the wooden deck, or whether he's talking about the plating. So I'll get you to answer both of those questions. If you can tell me, will it have teak decks on this yacht?
It will not have teak decks. It will have some teak-like deck covering, and the wooden plankings which were on the aft deck, they were removed since superstructure is going to be there.
And that's an easy thing to upcycle as well.
Exactly.
Another good question here. David Patrickson. The Voith Schneider propellers seem to give the ship great handling advantage at the cost of speed. Is there an option to use these and have a higher increased speed?
So the Voith Schneider system is meant for great maneuverability. And combining the fact that the vessel is meant for long-range cruising, speed was definitely not one of the goals we were trying to achieve. Also, the top speed of a vessel is limited by its hull characteristics, which is also the case in Project Master.
And I think it's important for viewers to understand that we have what's called a hull speed, and you can't exceed it. It's not like a car. You can put a bigger engine, widen the tyres, improve the suspension. Putting a bigger engine into a yacht, you'll never exceed the hull speed. All you'll do is waste energy, really.
Exactly, on those displacement type of vessels, yes.
Next one, Marek, is a guy named Kirby, who's a very regular viewer of the Yachts For Sale channel, and apparently now the Yacht Builders channel too, so thank you very much. And he says, I definitely would enjoy follow-up videos on both these ships. My question for you is, how will they clean the floors and walls in the room at 8 minutes and 2 seconds? Will you sandblast, power wash, or use some laser removal technique? Do they remove a layer and replace it? I can't imagine it being left like that on a luxury yacht.
No, the end result will look stunning and much like a luxury yacht. All those areas will be steam cleaned, sandblasted, and then properly painted.
Yeah, excellent. And hopefully we'll be able to see that as the project progresses. Well, this is another good question, and I think it's the last question. Timbo PC DC. I'd be interested to understand how they're going to solve noise levels within the yacht, and is the bridge remaining as it is?
Yes. So noise levels is a topic which we start considering at the earliest stage of a project. We take tons of actions to mitigate noise levels throughout the vessel, starting with each generator being in its flexibly mounted noise-proof casing, the electric Voith Schneider system, floating floors, noise insulations. So we're going to make the yacht as quiet as it can be, basically.
Yeah. Do you have consultants that help with the anti-noise and vibration study?
Yes.
Or?
Yes. So there are special companies specialized on noise and vibration analysis, placing microphones throughout the vessels, testing it in different loading conditions, engines, speeds, RPMs, and then develop a detailed plan on how to mitigate those.
Yeah, but I remember seeing that huge propeller shaft. Was it 26 meters long?
26 meters, yes.
And removing that's going to help for a start.
Yes, tremendously.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Marek. How's the boat show been going for you?
Well, it's been really busy. A lot of interest in explorer type of vessels, and our latest conversion projects, Project Master and the newly revealed Project UFO.
Excellent. Well, thanks very much. On one final note, many of our viewers really enjoyed a video that we did on the other channel, on the Yachts For Sale channel, of another yacht built in the Netherlands, but of a very different kind, and that was the Extreme 105. So the team and I went to the shipyard to show exactly how the yacht's built, where it's built, what other things they're building at that shipyard. That video is going to be released on this channel on Saturday, so make sure you don't miss it. And if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you do that too and click the bell icon. Do you know why? Do you know why you have to click the bell icon?
To get the notifications.
To get notifications. Thanks again, Marek.
Thank you, David.
Cool.